Welcome, Ben Algar, to Kettering Town Football Club, one of Cully's army from King's Lynn, and nice to have you in front of Poppers TV for the first time.
Yeah, nice to be here.
Nice to be here indeed, yes. What is your role with Cully in the club?
So, basically I'm just the sports scientist, so if you want to just keep it simple, it's just being in control of the physical preparation of the players, basically doing warm-ups. I like to analyse the data from the game, so you might see the players wearing the GPS vests, so that's my main sort of forte, and then just anything really physical to do with the players, health and well-being, consultancy if they want any advice on, say, gym work or nutrition, something like that.
I mean, King's Lynn were full-time, weren't they? Does it make any difference being sort of part-time like Kettering are with the players? You're probably not as involved as...
Yeah, so there's probably less involvement at the minute because they're not full-time, so obviously we just have training and then they get a recovery day the next day, whereas King's Lynn we'd have to manage the load a bit more because they would train 4 times a week and have a game. So there's not so much regiment, if you like, it's more just make sure they're right for training, and then they'll recover the next day and go again. So you could probably manage the load less, but you still have to be careful with it.
Crystal ball looking ahead, how do you see that developing at the Poppies?
In terms of?
Well, more time with the players, what you have to do yourself?
I think moving forward, I'd like to periodise it a little more. So instead of just making sure they're ready for the game, ready for training, I'd like to have a plan in place at the start of next season, so we can focus on different aspects of.
Is diet anything involved at all?
I think I'll probably look at it
and ignore it,
or ignore it. I know there's a few that like a drink after a game.
Really?
Well, would you believe it? But no, as long as just making recommendations, it's up to the player at the end of the day if they follow it or not. As long as I'm doing my job.
A few seasons ago we had full-time players at Kettering, going back about 10 years ago, and they were under diets, pasta diets before matches, getting liquids certain parts of the day, etc. And
it's definitely something I'd like to do. Like, the more I can do, the better, really. I don't want to just be leading a warm-up and then that's me ticking off the box. Like, I'd like to do the diet and things like that, just making sure they get the right amount of carbs in, protein, fats before a game, and getting their liquids on board. Like, for instance, I'd like to bring in supplements, so like protein shakes after a game, just to help with recovery, because obviously we've got 4 in 9 days now, or we started, so it's just important that way. So just bringing that professionalism to the club.
How did your involvement then with Cully develop? I mean, you said you were at Lynn for about a year and a half, was it? You know, how did all that materialise and then come in here, of course?
Yeah, so I finished uni and I did performance analysis with Norwich and Leicester as an intern, but it wasn't really for me. I did really enjoy it, especially my time at Norwich. But
You've seen a lot of goals go in.
Well, we were in the Championship and that's when we won the league, so it was all right really. So, but yeah, then I was like, no, I want to give the sports science go because that was my degree at Loughborough. So I emailed King's Lynn because it was local to me, and I just said, look, I'm looking for a voluntary sort of role, learn my trade, and just if there's anything going, I'm more than happy to do it. The director of football there got back to me and said, yeah, come on board. And then basically I was given the sole role of doing it all, so I've learned on the job, and then built a relationship with Ian, which was really good. Obviously, things didn't work out at Lynn this year. I saw he came here and I said to him, look, I'd be really interested in coming if you'd have me. He said, yeah, let me get you sorted, and obviously here I am.
There you are, yeah. So you come at a very important time as well, because out of the blue or into the playoffs almost. I mean, win tonight would put us back in there. It's quite exciting, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it didn't start off with a win. I think we drew against Telford, then lost the next 2, and I thought, oh no. I thought, I brought the Lynn luck with me.
Well, as long as you don't bring the staff with you, you're all right. But,
yeah, exactly.
We have a few dealings with Lynn, but in the past. But no, it's a good time. I mean, we'd never have thought at this time of the season that we'd be almost in a playoff position. I mean, I think it was just to stay up. This season was the remit, but since Ian's come in, he seems to have transformed things a little bit.
Yeah, he's very good at that. He's just a good coach. He's a great coach. Like he creates a really good environment and culture around the place, and I think all the players are bought into it. And like with the people he brings, with Baz, Simo, myself, we're all the same type of person. We all know what each other's thinking. So no, it's good that we're where we are.
Well, thanks for popping in. pre-match. I know you've got your stuff to get through and whatever, but you'll see this on the website, so you can have a look at yourself and see how it goes. And we'll see you again. Thanks for winning, Ben.
Thank you very much.
Marvellous.